Hello friends, welcome to today's video where we're going to destroy these palettes. Since today is Thanksgiving, I am wishing you a happy Thanksgiving if you live in the United States and you are celebrating. Hopefully this will give you some satisfaction to follow up. As a disclaimer, I am not a pro at popping shades out of eyeshadow palettes, so this is a journey for all of us. I have the 4 palettes here that I talked about in my decisions for the 2020 palettes on the chopping block video, which I'll link for you in case you want to hear the reasoning for why I'm destroying these palettes. I also have some tools here that I am using to help me. I have my, what I call destroyer tweezers. They're just like junky tweezers that I use for this type of destruction. I also have this little tool here, this double-ended guy. I got this, I wanna say, as an accessory when I purchased that big black Adept palette. It basically is meant to help you pop shadows out of palettes. I also use this sometimes to crush up powder products to repress. And then I have this new addition here. It's a little pin, which I'll talk about later. All right, let's get into it. We'll go ahead and start with what will probably be the easiest one, which is the Disney Designer Collection palette from Colorpop. All right, so for this palette, my objective here is to get rid of all the shades that have an X next to them. I'd like to, if possible though, preserve this beautiful packaging, and thanks to you fine folks, I think I can do that because you gave me 2 tips. You recommended I use a magnet to pop these out. I have a kitchen magnet, but I don't have an actual magnet. And then someone recently said I could just use a pin. So I have one of these pins that I use for the very small amount of crafting that I do. So according to this person, I'm supposed to be able to just like press this in between. Oh, look at that. Well, that was super, only I could pick it up now. There's the trick. So if you don't know, this was news to me until, again, my lovely viewers told me that these are all magnetic. So it's allegedly very easy to pop shades out of this palette, which is nice. So we'll go now to this one. All right, well that was real easy. So I popped out the shades I don't want, and I am left with the shades that I like well enough at this point in time to keep. My plan going forward with these is to perhaps work on them one at a time, like as I pull in other shades, but I'm at least glad that I was able to keep them all in this real cute palette. I am bummed that my Colorpop single shadows are bigger than these, so I can't put in new colors that I like, but that's cool. Okay, let's move to our next palette. All right, palette number 2 that we're destroying is a Studio On The Go eyeshadow palette in Cool Down. There are just a few shades in here that are worthy of keeping. These top 3 guys are right here. So my plan is to try to pop them out the way I normally would, which is me trying to break the top piece that's glued here. Yeah. So, not the most graceful, it's not my middle name for a reason, but this is what I'm left with. I don't mind that small dent. As you guys can see, I'm not super gentle. My personality, my mannerisms, my life is not gentle. So what I'm doing right now is trying to see how tight the glue is here and peeling off as much of the paper as I can without trying to dent the metal. Okay, so this is what I'm left with. A little bit of glue on there, but we'll take care of that in a minute. All right, let's go to the next section. All right, so I've taken the 3 shades that I wanted from the palette out, and then the rest of it is what I am removing from my life. The next palette that we are taking apart is my Cargo Cosmetics Emerald City. There is just 1 shade I want in here, and that is Space Needle. This is a little bit thicker. What I can probably deduce is that similar to the last time, this is glued. Yeah. So I have removed it, and now I can start to work with what's on the bottom here. This next part is a sticker, so I will peel as much of this off as I can. All right, that is working out easy. Okay, so now that I've got sort of a section around that I can pop underneath, I'm gonna take this beautiful guy. Oh, easy. These look like maybe they're magnet? I don't know, that popped out really easily. Oh yeah, look at that guy. Ooh, all right, happy to kept that. The rest of this palette, while seems pretty, doesn't have great longevity, so sadly she's being kicked out of my collection. All right, now we come to my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This one I think is gonna be most challenging because this is metal and this is plastic. It's not cardboard, which is what I have the most experience deconstructing. So I'm gonna try to pop, I think, the plastic part away from the metal. We'll see. Okay, well now I feel like an idiot because this is coming out really easily. If we ever wondered why this had to be so thick, the answer is it didn't. This palette did not need to be as thick as it is. Like, look how thin this is. It's literally on legs. So weird. Okay, so that is my chocolate bar palette popped out. Now my goal is to get marzipan, the cream shade, and this pink shade. Plastic is harder to pop out though because it doesn't have as much give to it, so it could pose challenging, but we'll try it over here. Let me see if I can get some leverage with the pen. Okay, so that's giving me, ooh, dug into it. Oh no. I hope it's not some foreshadowing. Ooh, oh no. Oh, this is getting disastrous. Get more of a wedge there. Ooh, I heard something give. That's a good sign. Ooh, but you see the shadow cracking, which is of concern. I can repress it though, as long as I don't lose too much. I feel like I'm playing a twisted game of Operation. Did you ever play that game? Ooh, ah! Oh no. All right. This is what I'm left with. It's not bad. It's not bad. It could definitely be better, but it could also be worse. I had glue in the center, and because it's the plastic, it makes it hard to give. And this is long and rectangular, so that also makes it challenging. Okay, let me regroup, clean up and regroup. Okay, let us keep going. My pin is looking a little rough, but that's okay. I'm gonna try going to the cream next because I think if I get the cream out, I might have more, I don't know, space to work with for marzipan. Slash, like, maybe after 2 attempts, I'll become a master and we'll have no problem popping marzipan out. I'm gonna doubt it though. It's a good thing I'm not hurting for cream shades, am I right? If you were coming here for tips, I do apologize. Ooh, I hear the glue giving way, but we do have a little, oh! So I learned nothing. That was the takeaway. This didn't get better. Okay, so once again, whew, she's Looking a little rough, got a little bit of mess here, but that's okay. Once again, I can repress it. I'm not super worried. I will once again clean up, regroup, come back. Okay, we're back, and I don't know if we're improved, but here we go. Let's do this. So this pin has not survived the wreckage. Let me get another one. All right, we're back. New pin. Oh, that's not gonna be good. Hold on. Oh, that's helpful if I wasn't so clumsy. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, yeah, okay, all right. Ooh. Okay, moral of the story, these are very hard pressed glued into the palettes. So I have kind of dented this shadow. So let me just assess, hold on. All right, so here's what's gonna happen. So these two pans here are in pretty good shape. So I'm going to repress these inside here just to make sure that they're all nice and even. However, this one is not gonna work in this pan. So here's what we're gonna do. This is one of my Colorpop colors that I am getting rid of. I don't want it. So I am going to try to repress this inside this decently intact shade. Who knew? Who knew you were coming for so much more? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by getting rid of all of the shadow that's in here. Okay, I'm gonna wipe all of it out. And we can officially say goodbye to the Too Faced palette. Okay, I had not intended to do any repressing, so let me go ahead and grab my repressing supplies and come on back. Okay, so welcome back to the unexpected repressing portion of our video. So I grabbed my repressing supplies. I have my 91% alcohol spray that I got from Walgreens, which is my mixing medium. I grabbed my super great pokey tool that I use to crush and mix with. And then I grabbed a combination of toilet paper and paper towels, which I use to press down and soak up extra bonus liquid. Okay. We're gonna start with marzipan. Looking at this, I don't think that these two are equal in size, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I'm not dying to keep every ounce of this shade, so I'm just going to put in what I think will fit in here. Okay, now that I've done like a scooping of what I think would like fit in here, I'm gonna do a better job of mashing this up, grinding it up a little bit more, using the pokier, sharper side of this double-ended. All right, I'm gonna clean that guy off real fast. Now I'm going to spray some alcohol in there to turn it more into a liquid. I try to not go too wild at first with alcohol spray. It's not wildly problematic if you do get too much in there because it just means it might take a little bit longer to dry or you have more liquid to press out. But my goal here is to mix the alcohol and the shadow together. All right, I'm relatively satisfied with that. So because this is circular and not as big as these, I'm gonna use some folded up toilet paper. I'm gonna fold it into a square about this size. And what I'm doing here is I'm applying some light pressure which is both absorbing the excess alcohol, but also pushing it all together and so that it is now reformed to the pan. You can see it looks like this. You can see where I've pressed it in. I'm not a machine, so it's not a perfect science, but I'm gonna press again just to get a little bit more liquid out. And you can see here it sucked up even more alcohol. I'm pretty satisfied with that personally. It's not all the way to the very top, but it's sufficient. And I mean, I like this shade, but I don't think it's the world's most unique shade. So even though I'm pitching about half, if we include the fallout there, I'm fine. It will give me the satisfaction of using enough of the shade. So all set with that. I'm gonna leave it over here and it will need to dry typically overnight, I find, but I leave it for a couple of days before I personally will touch it. You know the drill. I'm gonna go ahead, clean up, regroup, and come back for the repressing of these two. All right, I decided to wisen up and I'm gonna put a paper towel down. So for this one, since I'm keeping it inside this pan, my only goal right now is to break it up so that way I have the ability to mix it. Okay, I'm gonna go with a different strategy here. I'm just going to spray the top of it. I'm not gonna worry so much about mixing it because again, it should be relatively fine in here. So I'm gonna use a paper towel since this one is bigger, and I'm going to fold it into a rectangular shape, and I'm going to gently work on pressing it down, making it smooth. Yeah, that's better. All right, so here she is repressed. It's definitely not as smooth as when a machine does it, but I'm satisfied with that. And again, this was more of like a bonus shade for me to keep. So I'm pleased with my repressing job. And I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the same process for this cream shade. All right, going to fold the paper towel and going to press. This one's not taking it as well. I think I need more saturation. There we go, yeah. All right, this is what I am left with. You can see the paper towel indent in there, but that does not bother me at all. So in total, I ended up popping out 3 shades from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, 1 shade from my Cargo Emerald City palette, 3 from my Cool Way Studio On The Go palette, and then I preserved these remaining shades in my Colorpop palette. Overall, I'm happy with what I was able to do. I mean, we had a little bit of a experience here with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar, but I was still in the end able to get the palettes. What I'll do now is these will go into my black Adept palette. What I'll do, I'm gonna wait for these to dry, so you're not gonna see me actually do this, but I'll walk you through what I would do. What I do is I test out the strength of the metal in the Adept palette, and if it doesn't stick on its own, I do have a bag of magnets that you have a peel back adhesive that you can stick onto the pan, and then I take those shadows and I stick them in once they have the magnet applied to them. So I hope you enjoyed watching me not so gracefully pop these shadows out of their palettes and destroying the palettes along with me. Like I said, if it's Thanksgiving where you are, a happy Thanksgiving to you, and I will talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye guys.